Hi everybody, Jo here again. I hope you've had a lovely weekend. It's been Easter here in the UK, so I hope you've enjoyed some rest, relaxation, and hopefully seen some friends and family. And maybe the odd little bit of Easter egg. I don't know. Are we being good? What do you think? But anyway, I do hope you're enjoying such a lovely time. So with it being Easter Monday, I thought I'd come in with something sort of spring-like and a card that, although for me, I'm thinking Easter, it could be used any time of the year. I've just gone for colours that for me are just spring, happy, smiley colours. Now, we're going to be doing a watercolour technique. It's an old technique, but do you know what? I love going back to older techniques. And also, we have new members and followers all the time, so it's always lovely to go over techniques. We have done this before, but I'm sure you won't mind. Now, because I'm watercolouring my card, I have decorated my envelope, but on my envelope, because I'm going to pop this in the post, I have used my VersaFine Clair. So what I'll do is, I know you'll want to ask me, so the colours I've used on the envelope, and I'm just going to move my card out of the way because I'm likely to drop these. Golden Meadow, Summertime and Verdant. So I just added the 3 colours and stamped my beautiful stamp, and that way this is permanent ink, so if it should get wet, if we have one of those April showers, or we get them all year here, don't we? Could be any month showers, and recently we've had some really sudden thunder showers, such heavy rain. I know it's not going to smudge and ruin my card. And the little dots are Posca, so again, that's permanent when dry, so not a problem. Now, I'm going to be using our lovely Lavinia watercolour card. This is a hot-pressed watercolour card, lovely and smooth for stamping on. One thing I will say, it is off-white. Now, I do not find that a problem at all. I know recently I've read a few comments, but for me, look, yes, it is off-white, but there is such a little difference. And also, if you put a border, I think you can still, these are the 6x6 white card and envelopes available on the website. And I think with my beautiful orange matte and layer, I think that looks beautiful. So for me, it isn't a problem. I think it's just such a lovely quality card. So I'm going to put that there. Got my watercolour card here, and this is a 5-inch square. I know you like to know your sizes, just because then it will go on my 6x6, and I've got that little bit of room for my matte and layer. Now, the stamp I'm going to use is the Fairy Bell set, and there are 3 stamps in this collection, and we're going to use all 3. And, you know, I went for this because in my garden at the minute, I've got quite a lot of the tete-a-tete daffodils, the smaller ones. And I know this probably looks more, we use it as a snowdrop, but in my head, it reminded me slightly of the tete-a-tete daffodils. But also I've got some snake's head fritillarias, and the shape at the top is almost, so it reminds me of so many different flowers, and I love that with these. So that's why I've gone for this one. But we have so many stamps, you know, that this technique works really well with. And often I practice on just an offcut of my watercolour card look. And that was my practice piece. And again, I used lots of different stamps. That was to see if I was happy with the stamp. But I also used the Wild Summer Flowers, I think that one's called. I'm sure that's Wild Summer Flowers. And look at that. I just love that. And again, that was just an offcut. So I'm going to actually trim that edge, and I'm going to use that as a topper for a card because I just think it's beautiful. And often that's the thing, you know, if it's a new technique and you're a bit nervous about it, just have a practice on offcuts because it will build your confidence up. But, you know, with these techniques, no matter how many times you do it, every so often you'll add either too much water, not enough water, and it doesn't work as well as others. But that's the beauty of crafting, that no 2 are ever the same. And that's my little thing, that if it doesn't work today, I'm doing it to show you. Because, as I say, these things, they never work the same twice. So So I'm going to use my Clean Colour pens for this. And when I've chosen my colours, what I've gone for, and again, I've just chosen 2 greens, a dark green and a light green. I will tell you the numbers, but it really doesn't matter just as long as it's a light and a dark. So mine are actually 53, which is yellow green, and 43 olive green. But as I say, just a light and a dark green. And then again, I just looked in my box and I've gone for a yellow, a sort of mustardy yellow, and then an orange. But again, don't be too hung up on the numbers, as long as you've got a yellow, even a pale orange and an orange. So this one happens to be 51 lemon yellow, 50, which is yellow, and 70, which is orange. And I just take the lids off before I start. I just find it easier. And you need your Lavinia water bottle. So all I'm going to do is come in first with my greens, and we've got a bit of a stem there. So I'm just going to, with the light green, just colour in the stem. And then I'm just going to add a little bit of shade with the darker colour at the base there. And then come in with my yellows. And this is just the way I do it. Honestly, you have so much fun and you'll come up with your own little system. I just find for me it works well to put the lighter yellow on first. And then I come in where I want the orange at the top here, look. And then my mid colour, just add a little bit in between. And this is the fun bit for Eric. I'm going to spritz it, but I'm literally spritzing it once. So with my spritzer, and for me, I find it best if I spritz it to the side away from my work. And then all I'm going to do is come in. Now I may have put too much water on that. My hand, it gave a second little spritz. No, that's not too bad. So if I just take that off the block and just dry the block. So actually that's okay. I thought I'd put too much water on, but we're okay with that one. Now, you will get slight staining on your stamps, but it is very, very slight. And if I can cope with it, I'm sure you can cope with it. And you know me, I just turn my work to the side. I find it easier. So on to the next one. And the same thing, my light green on the lovely stem. And then just some darker green. And then light yellow, orange, and then that mid colour. And again, one spritz. Now, if your block gets really wet, you can just clean that. Now this one, I think we'll go for one there. And we'll just see if we get to a second generation, just take a little bit off its stem, lower the stem a little bit to alter the height, and just see if we can get it. Oh yes, look, we did. A second generation. And again, that's worth playing around with and just seeing how many you can get. I mean, I think the thing is, if it was me, I would cut myself some pieces of your watercolour card. Maybe, I mean, I found out of one of the A4 sheets, I can get 2 of the 5-inch squares, but also then I get quite a few of my little offcuts. So maybe start and practice on your offcuts, which hopefully you're going to be happy with, and they make beautiful toppers. So we'll come in one more, and I'm just going to put this one at the front, and this is the smaller one. So I'm going to actually make this darker, because just to try and help with almost make the perspective, obviously because it's darker in front. So I will colour the whole thing yellow. Just checking you can still see me and I'm not colouring in off camera. You know what I'm like. And then I'm going to add the orange at the tips as well, look. And again, you can play around with how much colour. And then I just want to blend that in. And don't worry if I get any dark orange on my pen, look, because it literally will There we go, tiny bit there, but look how it's come out. I love that when I'm colouring anyway. And while I'm doing this, my pens won't dry out, don't worry. One spritz, and I sort of hold it arm's length away. And then we'll just add this here at the front. And this one I'm just going to hold down a little bit longer. I'm not sure if I added enough water on this, if the spritz actually got to the top of the flower. So we shall see. But I didn't want to over spritz it with it being at the front. No, that's lovely. Maybe just see if I can get a second generation just there. Yeah. And that's given me a nice little clump with an odd number. And then it's up to you at the base. You can just come in and add some squiggles, or we've got the beautiful stamp, the Climbing Ivy. And this little one here, what I found was if I put my dark green down the middle and then just go in with my light green down the edges. Now again, this works because obviously these pens are water-based. It won't work with any other markers that are permanent pens. Obviously it's the water in these that you're utilising. And we'll just stamp that there. And again, lift that up. And if I want to add a little bit, just a hint of colour under their shade, I'm just going to add the green look, a little bit of the yellow, and then come in with a brush and just drag that colour and remember, if your colour was too deep, put some water on and give it a blot with kitchen roll and it will lift that colour. But I don't want to take away the shape of that, but I just want that to almost meet the shape of the ivy there and then just go away to nothing. Yeah, happy with that. So I'm just going to put the lids on my pens because obviously I don't want to leave them off permanently, otherwise they would dry up, and I love using them so much. Now that's my green. That's the hardest thing, remembering that's yellow. I've got some yellow on the lid. That's green and that's yellow. There we go. Lid safely back on. And then I thought my sentiment I'm going to put Just For You, and it's coming from the Heartfelt Verses set. And I didn't want to use black. I thought it would be too harsh. So when I looked at my VersaFine Claire, I went for my favourite Shady Lady. But for our lovely new friends and followers, the correct name is Shady Lane. But I'm afraid it went in my head as Shady Lady. And, you know, it is funny how these things stick. Have you ever misheard somebody's name and called them the wrong name? And once it's in your head, it's very hard getting the correct name in. We are funny. So I'm just going to pop this. And again, I'm just going to put my head over. I'm just going to put it here. And for me, as I say, this could be used for so many different occasions. Beautiful. And then to finish off, and again, this is just for me, I'm going to come in with my yellow sparkle Posca. You know I don't really make cards without this. If you're happy with this, just leave it as this. If you want to add some of our beautiful glitters, add glitter. The beauty of this is you take it to where you want. I just love that watercolour look, almost the simplicity of it. So, quick shake. And I'm not going to overdo it. Just going to add a few down here at the base. And again, I'm holding it quite close, look. And then just follow it up here. Just to take the whiteness off the card. That's enough. Don't overcook it. Now, if you like the butterflies, we've used the silhouette butterflies recently. Maybe add a little butterfly on there. What about the little dragonfly? Again, we've got lots of places that you can take this. But I just thought that was such a beautiful spring design, and it doesn't take long. But honestly, it is one of those techniques that once you start, you are going to love. And I must just bring in this one again, because I've got to be honest, that one probably is my favourite one. So you have fun with this. I can't wait to see what you do and which stamps you use. Maybe it's a good time to get your floral stamps out and have a look. Yeah, what do you think? Maybe use some of our underwater stamps, make an underwater design. Now that would be beautiful, wouldn't it? Oh, honestly, I can't wait. Anyway, you have fun. Take care. Thanks for all your lovely messages. I really do appreciate them. Enjoy the rest of your day. Love and hugs from me. And I'll see you again tomorrow. Bye for now.